Hey YouTube, what's going on, and welcome back to Chironus Things. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing this Wuben G5. This is going to be another small, innovative flashlight packed with features, so let's get to it. Wuben did send me two of these, so one in black and one in green. They're the exact same, it's just different colors. So I'm going to be reviewing the green one here, and then the black one I might be doing a giveaway with. So stay tuned in further videos for that. But for now, we're going to get to the Wuben G5. Before we get started, I am going to be giving away two XTAR PB2SL V2s. These are some pretty cool compact battery chargers, and it also works as a power bank. It's got a magnet on the front and a screen, and so you can check out that video I just posted on my channel if you want to win one of these. Again, I'll be giving away two of them on my channel, brand new. So let's get into the Wuben G5 here. Let's start off with the size and dimensions on this, which I'll throw up on the side of the screen. And now let's take a look at some size comparisons. First up here I have the Wuben G2. This is a keychain flashlight they've had out for a while. And you'll see here that it's actually pretty close in height. So this is more keychain flashlight size. Even in width here, very close. The G5 just a little bit bigger. And the G5 is just a little bit thicker as well. So, I mean, very close in size there to a keychain flashlight. And I wasn't aware of the size before I got this, so I thought that this was going to be much larger, like more like credit card size, but no, it's tiny. And so here is the Wurkkos HD03. This is a clip style flashlight. And so this is going to be very close there with that round head there. The HD03 is just going to be a little bit taller. You'll see the difference here with the clip. Much thicker as well. So this thing is very small, much smaller than I was anticipating. So that's the size on the Wuben G5. Now let's take a look at the overall design of this flashlight. Starting with the bottom here, we do have a small magnetic area. However, since this flashlight is so small and lightweight, it doesn't need much of a magnet. Clips right on there, no wiggle at all for the most part. Pretty solid. So this is really nice having a magnet on this tiny little flashlight, especially since the head swirls. So while you stick it to something, you can adjust your head to whatever angle that you need. So that's pretty cool. On the side here, we do have a pocket clip, and so that's kind of just mounts in the side there. But if you pull it out here, you can rotate it so you can clip it in your pocket that way, you know, and then you just pull it back to the side there and it clips right back in, no issues. We also have a lanyard hole down there, which is mainly how I use it. I don't really use it with the pocket clip. And then over here, this is really neat. So right now we're in lockout mode, and then we have, as you can see, the light output mode, but in the front here you see the little battery icon. So if you move that all the way up, that's actually how you access the USB-C charging. So as far as battery and charging on this, we're looking at USB-C charging with a built-in 450 milliamp battery access through this little port here. So while that's closed in lockout mode or in the light mode, so as long as you're not in that little battery mode, there's nothing going to get in there to your USB port. So that's pretty cool. And so that's obviously on lockout mode right now. On the back, we don't really have a whole lot going on, just kind of playing, as you can see, with the back of the head there looks like, but of course you can swivel that over to whichever way you want. And then up here we have a little rotating dial that's going to be used for the user interface. And let's go ahead and check out the user interface on this G5. So we're going to move it out of lockout mode into the light output mode here. So now that we're in that mode, everything's going to be accessed off this little button here. Nice little switch, easy to click, feels good to click. So when I turn that on, you see it's a click on, click off. But if I hold from on, I can switch to my RGB mode. So you see there the big LED we have here, that's the TIR, that's your white LED. And I have no idea what that LED is, I didn't see it anywhere online. And then the smaller one here is your RGB. And that's not going to pick up as well on this camera with the light that I have coming from the top here. But if we turn on that RGB, of course you can rotate through all kinds of different colors. And that's all accessed through this little rotating dial here, but kind of the same thing here. If I hold this down and go back to white LED, the way that you're going to brighten this is by rotating that dial. And see, it gave me a little flash to let me know I'm all the way at the top. And then I can go all the way down to its moonlight mode or stop anywhere in between. I really like that, how you actually use a dial and kind of control where you want to be at exactly on your light output mode. I like that a lot. And then additionally, you can double click for turbo. Now let's head into RGB again. If you double click, you can get a flashing mode. Double click again. Change the color here. Alright, double click. And so it's going to flash based on whatever color you left it off on. You can also double click through different types of strobe modes as well. Now let's take a look at the performance numbers on the side of the screen. And now that we took a look at that, let's take this outside and see what it can do with some beam shots. Final thoughts on the Wuben G5. Well, I will say I am pretty impressed, especially for the size. I do think that the user interface can get a little bit confusing at times. There's times where I've accidentally got myself stuck in like the beacon mode on the RGBs and stuff like that. So having everything off of button sequences, doing, you know, that many different sequences of clicks, I'm not a huge fan of. But outside of that, having a rotating head is a pretty big deal to me. I mean, this turns this from just a single use out the front flashlight to really being a 90 degree as well, or however you need to use it. A magnet on the bottom, you know, and then being able to cover up that USB port. And this thing is so tiny. I just think it's great to be able to take with you wherever you go. Anybody can use this on the job site, or just throw it in your pocket and it'll get lost in your pocket. You won't even feel it there. It's so small. So I think this thing is actually pretty impressive and packs a lot of features. But like I said, the only thing that I think that I would probably improve on it would be to do something a little bit different with how the user interface works. Other than that though, really enjoying this flashlight. As far as the price, when I last looked at it on Amazon, I think it's running at $19.99, so $20. That's a pretty good price for what you're getting here. I definitely recommend getting your hands on this. I'll throw a link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great week.